People always say, how'd you learn the things you learn? How do you know the things that you know? I got to my point from learning from other people and then taking that knowledge that I learned and actually using it. All right, we outside. Look at that GT3. Can't go wrong with it. Crazily enough, if y'all could guess the price, guess how much this is? This isn't a regular Range Rover. It's an Overfinch. This is all carbon. What's your favorite supercar? What's your dream car? Well, I just want them all. Actually, be the one that you're on. You don't gotta really worry about stop or.
Got it. Okay. And then as far as the units go, how do I like?
I got this car, Ferrari, Lego. So this is gonna be cool to have at the setup and everything. Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to another video. Right now, it is 9:28 Sunday morning. We're about to hop on a call with the team. No days off. It's just any other day right now. We're about to hop on a team. It's gonna be a Q&A. I got a whole bunch of questions that they asked. I got questions from my Instagram that I'm gonna answer for them. Just give a whole bunch of value on the main things when it comes to trading, mindset, and everything when it comes to just getting to the next level. At the end of the day, people always say, how'd you learn the things you learn? How do you know the things that you know? How'd you get to your point? I got to my point from learning from other people and then taking that knowledge that I learned and actually using it. And based off of using it, that experience that I learned, the L, the lesson, the W, the break even, whatever result may be from the stuff that I use, now that's gonna allow me to adapt myself. And based off adapting myself, I will become the best version of myself. It's a pretty simple process. It takes time. It's not easy, but it's a simple process. So we're about to hop straight on into it. If you didn't check out yesterday's video, make sure you go check that out. We had a whole lot of game, one-on-one calls, whole lot of stuff yesterday. So make sure you check that out. I got one-on-one calls today also. I think I got a little bit more today than I did yesterday, but it's all good. Got to help the team get them to the next level. Yeah, I got maybe 3 today, maybe 4 if someone else schedules it, but nothing I haven't done before. But like I was saying, without all the yapping, let's get straight into the team. Let's see what money we can make. Not even more money we can make. I'm so used to it being trading. Let's see what money we can get ready to make.
Let's get straight on into it. I bet. So first thing, when it comes to the questions, any tips on how to save money from trading? So I would just say in general, when it comes to saving money, trading, your job, whatever it may be, making money is easy. Multiplying money, keeping money is a lot harder. I've made a lot of money, but I've also spent a lot of money in my life. And making the money was once was what I thought was the hard part until you get into the position to have the money to realize you can make a lot of money, but if you don't know how to spend it, if you don't know how to multiply it, if you don't know how to keep it, the money comes and goes very easily. Just focus on, I would say, risk management. I would say learn your risk management in your trading, because in order for you to even make money in trading, you got to be able to have a understanding of how to manage risk. Based off understanding of how to manage risk, you're not going to over leverage your account. You're not going to spend too much of your trading account. You just got to treat your bank account the same way. Make a lot of money, spend as little as possible. You're going to have bills. You're going to have to spend money on bills, but don't spend money on things you don't necessarily need. And then based off the things that you want, not need, understand the risk management in terms of what your overall balance is. And when I say balance, how much you're making a month in comparison to how much money you have saved up, that type of thing. But saving money is really just a discipline aspect. Just don't spend it. Understand your wants from your needs. Next question. Did it feel unreal passing your first funded or getting a payout, or did you expect it to happen? So by the time I got my first passed account, by the time I got my first payout, first withdrawal, first anything, I had already lost a lot of money before I even got to that point. So it was kind of like, I knew it was bound to happen. I knew that first payout was bound to happen. I knew it was going to have to come at some point. Did I expect it? Yeah, I expected it to come at some point, but when you already lost thousands of dollars, hundreds of dollars, that first payout feels good to know it's possible, but in reality, it's not like you're in profit. Unless you have a crazy ass big payout. But most times when you get that first payout, it's kind of like, I bet this is just the first out of the couple that I need to be able to get to be able to recoup my funds. Now, fortunately enough, you have prop firms nowadays where that first payout could be a lot bigger than what you spent. But back in the day, I wasn't getting no 5, 10, 20K payouts. It just was more consistent, maybe 1,000, maybe a couple hundred, and then from there it's kind of compounds over time. But did it feel unreal? I wouldn't say it didn't feel unreal. I knew it was bound to happen. Did it feel good? Yes. But guess what? Once you get the funded account, you got to get a payout. Then once you get a payout, got to do it again. Then once you do it again, you got to do it again. The job never stops. It's just you just got to the first level and you were able to actually get to the result for the first time. Let me see. Just wanted to say you helped me. I don't think this is a question, but I'll just read it anyway. Just wanted to say you've helped me a lot. Grow immensely. Just took 3 payouts back to back. Shout out to Dre. Shout out to Dre. Okay, how can I scale a small account? What should I be looking to target every day? So when you're scaling a small account, you shouldn't be worrying about trying to scale a small account. Just because when your intention is to scale a small account, you're more than likely going to be over leveraging. You're going to be doing a whole lot of those different things. Personally, is it possible to scale a small account? Yes, but it's not something that you're going to be able to build consistency within, right? Because you go on a small losing streak on that small account build, you're more than likely not going to make it out of it. If you go on a one streak, more than likely might make some money, might be able to withdraw, but then what happens when you go back to that small account? It might just be the same thing where if you lose a couple trades, the account is gone. Building a small account is possible, just not realistic when you're trying to build consistency within yourself, but it doesn't mean it's impossible. What should I be looking to target every day? You should be looking to target based off of what you're risking. People always say, "Oh, should I try to make this amount on the account, this amount?" No, you should be following a process. You should be telling yourself, if I have this much of an account, let's just say this small account's $100. I'm only gonna be risking $50 per trade. I got two trades, or maybe you got a $100 account. I got one trade. Based off of what you're risking is what you should be targeting. If you're risking 100, you should be looking for a 1 to 2, 1 to 3 bare minimum. If you're looking for not even, yeah, I would just say 1 to 2 bare minimum. If you're going for 1 to 1s on a small account, you might as well kiss that account goodbye, because it's only a matter of time just for that small L streak to come in that just takes you out the game. You want to be able to make sure that your wins are significantly bigger than your losses, so that you can actually make multiple, like, not make, I was gonna say make multiple trades, but from every W you're getting multiple attempts for another trade in there. From one W you're going to be able to get 2 3 possible L's. You know what I'm saying? But if you're just one W, one L, one W, one L, it's going to be very stagnant. And if you have no balance, if you don't have that much drawdown, it's going to be very hard to be able to build a small account. I don't like being able to build small accounts. I'd rather maintain an account. I'd rather have enough drawdown to where I can actually go on a losing streak and get myself out of drawdown. But it all just comes down to the individual. But is it possible? Yes, you can grow a small account, but in terms of what you should look to target every day, look to target based off of what you're risking. You should be asking, what should I be risking on my whatever size account per day, and how many trades I should be taking. Just got to make the numbers make sense. Do you advise me to purchase a 50K funded account every month? Because so far I have 100K pass in one. I wouldn't say there's not no right or wrong when it comes down to how often should I buy a account. It really just comes down to your personal situation, how much money you're making inside of trading, how much money you're making outside of trading, um, stuff like that. Because some people might be able to buy 50K a month, $50 once a month. That's not that bad. And even if you pass it once a month, that's about $200 a month, which is not bad now considering. Um, I'm not sure where he's from. His name is Stalin FX. He could be in the U.S. He could not be in the U.S. I'm not sure. But based off of where you are, that's going to be a very big thing. Now I know not back, but like over in the other side of the world, they're like the third world countries. They don't have as much money. They don't make as much. So maybe buying a funded account isn't as possible over there. But in terms of when you should be buying a funded account, I don't say there's any right or wrong time. But what I would recommend for most cases, when most people get a funded account, they try to get copy trade, try to go crazy. Go for a payout. Make sure you can prove yourself that you can have a payout, because I don't care if you got funded one time. You can get funded one time. I'm sure a lot of you in this call have been funded one time, but you're all still here for a reason, because you still want to be able to get to that next level, right? Getting one payout is cool. Getting one funded account is cool, but we want to be able to learn ourselves to be able to do it consistently. The first thing we learn as traders is the system, the strategy, all of that sort of thing. And then once you get that taken care of, you still ask yourself, why am I not where I want to be? Because there's a lot of mental that comes into it. But just in terms of the funded accounts, understand you want to be able to prove the consistency. You can get a whole bunch of funded accounts. You can buy one every month. You can buy one every week. But if you're not proving to yourself that you can get payouts consistently, if you're not proving to yourself that you have a plan, something that works consistently, there's no point of going through a whole bunch of different accounts. Because I was just on a call with one of my students, James. I don't think he's here right now, but I was on a call with my student James yesterday. He specifically was saying that he wants to spend his time on his One Express account and try to go for the 30 winning trading days, because every time that he was trying to get a little payout, he was trying to get his little 5 days, he was trying to force it. He had to understand that he's forcing a result. He needs to just remain patient, remain calm, keep himself in the game, learn to stay in the game versus trying to get a payout, versus trying to do any of that. He wants to be able to stay in the game, and it's the same exact thing. If you can keep one Express account, one 50K account, you could be doing what Christ is doing. Christ made 20K in 2 weeks. You don't need to go too crazy. You don't got to be copy trading to be able to make 20K if you risk a certain amount of money. I'm not saying to do what he's doing. He's risking a lot of money, but if you're okay with the risk, go for it. It's possible. I would just say there's no need to buy multiple fund accounts if you don't have to. If you know what you're doing, all you really need is one, and you can change your life. No cap. How do you manage your risk fixed percentage per trade or depends on market conditions? So if I'm trading like on my Hanko trade account, most of the time I'm risking about 1,000 to 1,500. Of recently, I haven't been risking 2,000. I originally started this account to risk 2,000 per trade, but due to the summer conditions, due to it not being the best, I tried to just not go too crazy in terms of how much I'm risking per trade just until I can kind of catch myself doing good. Like I made a decent amount of money the other like 2 weeks ago. It was like I went like five days without losing, which was pretty good. When you're on a live account where you take a one trade, you can easily get out of there. Now, if I would have been on the funded account, crazily enough, I still wouldn't. I think I would have just been able to get a payout with the 5 days, but it's like you would have had to get 5 trading days, which is annoying. But that's pros and cons of a prop firm. There's benefits to it. You can be able to make money from it, but there's also limitations that's going to make you want to force a certain result, right? But the whole reason behind me saying that, in terms of how much I risk per trade, I'm risking about 1,000 to 1,500. Now, if I'm on a 20K account, 1,000 is probably what's that? 2,000 will be 10%, and then it'll be about 5%. So maybe a little bit like 5 to 7%, a little bit less than 10%. 10% per trade is ideally what I would want to risk. Best case scenario once I start getting in the flow of things. But as of right now, I've been risking about, so yeah, about 5 to a little bit less than 10%. I've risked 10% on the account before. I've risked 2K on the account before, but as of recently, I've been really a little bit less. And then they said, is it based off market conditions? I would say yes, because it's very seasonal. Springtime is going to be a little better than the summer. How did you deal with trading mentally when you were down with no money? I mean, the way you got to look at it, when you got no money, when you're down, what do you got to lose? I mean, what's the worst that can happen? The worst that can happen to me is I got to go live with my parents. That's the worst thing that could possibly happen. I ain't gonna lose any of my computer stuff. All this is paid for. This is all done. This all with me for life now until this shit get obsolete. But like what's the worst that can happen? You lose your money? I've been broke multiple times. Money don't make you. Money's just a byproduct of who you are, right? You can't let money make who you are. There's been many times where I knew how to trade, I knew how to make content, I still didn't have money. But that was because of decisions that we make as a person, not because we don't know how to make money, not because we're not who we think we are. It's just you make decisions. The same thing with your trading account. You could be doing exactly what you're supposed to for 30 days. On that last 31st day, you do some dumb shit. That doesn't make you who you are. You just made a mistake that may come at a cost of losing a lot of money.
All right, we done. Whole lot of game, whole lot of value. If you weren't there, you was square type shit. But it was about a 45-minute just Q&A, just money mindset, trading, risk management mindset, funded account questions, all of the above. A lot of game. You guys already know that. But if you want to get access to it all, you know where to go to apply. But I had my calls. I showed you guys. I got 3 of them later with some students. Not too many, light weekend. But I'm about to get all of this uploaded, the call uploaded, and then I'm going to go make my way back over there. Because my girlfriend's here, and I'm not sure what the vibes are. You'll see me where you see me next. Good day so far. All right, we outside. Look at that GT3. Can't go wrong with it. I be liking Porsche. I don't like it enough to, go get a Porsche right now, especially not this one. This one's out of the price range. I'll definitely go R8 over that Porsche for now. But the main thing that I be thinking about stuff, why try to pick? Just have them all. What's your favorite supercar? What's your dream car? Why pick? I just want them all. No cap, but we're about to go to the store so we can make some food. We were gonna go to First Watch, but by the time we would've got done everything and then got our ass over there to First Watch, it would've been closed, because it closed at like 2 o'clock, and right now it's 1:24. And I got my one-on-ones at 3:30. So yeah, but that's the vibes as of right now. Passive but haven't traded it. Copy. I mean, that's good. So you already have an Express account just waiting, essentially. You bought the activation. Copy. So yeah, you good. I mean, you lost the account, you got it back. Now you just got to understand what to do this time to make sure you don't lose it. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, you got the winning trading days last time. I would say this time, you can try to go longer if you want to, but have a certain amount, a certain number that once you get to, maybe you just take your first little withdrawal, first little payout, because it don't got to be nothing crazy, but you just want to be able to pay yourself for the time that you're putting in, because you don't want to be doing it for no reason.
Yeah.
Like, especially last time, like you said, a week and a half, 2 weeks, you had that account, you had winning trading days, you just weren't be able to get the withdrawal, and then after you lost the account, you're probably wishing, I wish I would took something. You know what I mean? It's just better.
Yeah, for sure.
And there's no point in, like, you don't gotta be the whole entire account. And I usually would recommend it's not the entire account. It just depends on how much you have whenever the time comes. You know what I mean? But just like I said, have a number in mind so that once you get there, it's just all planned. It's not just like, oh, one day you just randomly take it. I think it was earlier. Like if you weren't there for the Q&A, I would just rewatch it. It was it's the one I'm looking at right here. So it's literally the one uploaded. But the one from this morning, I was telling them, like if you have like $1,000 account risking $100 per trade, that's risking 10%. If you catch a trade and make 200-300, you might turn that $1,000 account to 1,200, 1,300. You might be able to just withdraw that 200-300 that you made that day. Just like that, you made 20-30% of it. You know what I mean? You could have compounded it, but you might, guess what? Tomorrow you might just take an L. And if you do take an L the next day after you did take a withdrawal, I bet that's cool. I mean, you don't gotta do nothing. Just once you get it back above that $1,000 mark, okay, you catch another trade, you make 200-300. All right, you can withdraw it. I mean, you're making maybe $800 off that $1,000 account already, and because you're actually withdrawing from it. And then by the time you get some withdrawal, you might already made the amount that you put into the account. I just had to record the I just recorded the thing on my phone because I left my camera. Then look at this. Crazily enough, if y'all could guess the price, guess how much this is. This isn't a regular Range Rover. It's an Overfinch. This is all carbon. This shit like $250,000, $290,000. Shit crazy. Yeah, that shit goes stupid. You would have never guessed. But I indeed do need to get upstairs to record and do these one-on-ones. So I'll see you on the next call. All right, we made it back up. No more phone camera. I'm waiting for my boy right now to answer his phone, but I'm about to text the person, JP. I'm gonna see if JP's ready. But besides that, I'm gonna get a little workout out here while I'm waiting. Matter of fact, I forgot the headset from when I went downstairs. I'm gonna get my headset and we're gonna get a workout while we wait.
Last Friday. It's always on a Friday too. I'm up for the week. I take a loss on Friday. Like after journaling, I came to realize that like I have a problem with taking a loss. Like, and that's just like, I guess you could say my competitive spirit. Like when I lose, I got to get it back or end it off on a win. But obviously, you can't have that mindset.
I would say the main thing is nothing that you more than likely don't already know in terms of less is more, risk management, emotional control. The main thing is just kind of asking yourself why, like what caused you to go on tilt on Friday? Because it's not that you don't know what to do, it's just a matter of actually not doing it due to, you said you think it's just the fact you don't like losing? Copy. Yeah, I don't like taking losses either, but the main thing to understand about losses is that they're necessary. Like, we won't appreciate the wins unless you take losses, right? Like, the wins feel good because you know what it's like to lose. You know what it's like to not make money. You know what it's like to not be able to catch a trade. You know what I mean? So it's like, you gotta have the good with the bad, regardless how you feel about it, right? And it sucks in the moment, but it's just a matter of having the discipline to just walk away, having the rules, having the habit to just do it. And the longer you follow your rules, it just becomes easier over time. In the beginning, it's harder because it's a new habit. It's something you haven't done before. But the hardest part is always in the beginning. The hardest part is always starting. The hardest part is always getting to the gym first. But once you're there, it's easier because you already got the momentum. But yeah, losses, they suck, trust. But you, and just like everybody else, don't like taking losses. Like, most people don't like taking losses. It's just human, is not, especially just men in general. We don't like losing, especially like you said, if you have a competitive personality, you want to be able to be right. And it's something like trading. Sometimes you got to be okay with being wrong. And the best traders are going to be the ones that are okay with being wrong and know when to walk away when they're wrong and to call it a day when they're wrong. It's not something that's immediately just you're gonna have overnight. It's something that's built over time. And it's just something that you gotta, the only way you become able to handle the losses is from getting put into situations where you have to lose. Because that's the only way you're gonna be able to kind of learn to be okay with it. So right now, you might just be in a situation to where you win a good amount. So when you lose, if it's not often, it'll hurt a lot more. If you're having a good week and then you take an L, you may not want to end the week on that negative note, even though you might have a positive week. You just don't like the fact of looking at it as a loss. But the one thing you got to look at in trading, losing money doesn't mean it's a loss. You may have lost money, but that doesn't mean that you did anything wrong. That doesn't mean that you did something incorrectly, because the same thing that I could do that's going to allow me to win a trade, the same thing that I could do that's going to win me a trade, get me a winning trade today, could be the same thing that I do that ends up losing me a trade. Market would be you're taking it exactly where it is. If you have it on limit or stop, it'll make it like a limit or stop order, meaning like you'll put where you'll be buying or selling will be placing like a limit order. But if you want to enter exactly where you are, you want to buy exactly where you are, you want to sell exactly where you are, you would do market execution. So it'd be market. Actually be the one that you're on. You don't got to really worry about stop or.
Got it. Okay. And then as far as the units go, how do I like?
That would be technically, it would be contract sizes and it would be based off of, you can see like based off that, it's a little bit different. Now we got it down. I ain't gonna lie, that's probably been the first time I had to figure out the leverage when it came to the paper trading. Usually you don't gotta necessarily worry about how much you're risking on it just because it doesn't necessarily matter. You just wanna get used to getting in the trade, using the stop loss, but now you know how to do it. So basically if you wanna have a 50-point stop loss, 500 ticks. If you wanna have a 100-point stop loss, 1,000. You're basically adding a zero to whatever you want to use. A 40-point, 400, 30-point, 300. And then you'll be able to see how much is risking per unit, however contract. So the unit is how many contracts. If you're just paper trading, all you really got to do is like one, because how much you're risking doesn't matter. You know what I mean? But if you just want to, you can put multiple, but it's just up to preference. US 30 in the same spot that you're looking at where this gap right in. It may look a little different on the chart. Are you on the hour time frame? So yeah, this is essentially, so this one is what it is on my chart, because this is 6 a.m. right here. It may look a little bit different. We may not be on the same exact US 30 chart, but this would be the 1 hour gap here. The way that I look at it, we had this gap that was here. This gap was valid. At 8 o'clock, you can see the time at the bottom. At 8 o'clock when we had this big wick to the downside, that's the wick that you had also to the downside. That was when we had CPI news at 8:30. That's what caused price to have this major drop. But the main thing that we would have used is, since we don't trade at 8:30, since we don't trade at 8 o'clock, by the time we came to the charts, price at 8 o'clock already closed bullish, right? So this is all happening while we weren't on the charts. This happened before we were on the charts, but by the time we get to the charts at 9 o'clock, which is the big candle that had all the volume, keep in mind what was right over here. All right, and we are done with the calls for the day, and it started raining outside. I'm gonna show you guys in a second this rain, but yeah. That's the one-on-one calls done for the day. For the most part, we got a lot of stuff done. The vlog so far has probably been like 20 minutes or so, but honestly, that's cool. Just giving you guys that daily dose of game. For all the people, why you charge people if you make money trading? I give you guys so much free game on a daily basis. Y'all don't even know. Y'all don't take advantage and appreciate the free game because it's free. Take advantage of the free game. Trust me, your life will appreciate it. Did say I'll show you the rain though, so look at that. Just got all foggy. It was just so nice out. All right, so I just told you guys we got done all the stuff. I didn't know what we were gonna do, but we waited for it to stop raining. We originally wanted to go get a new hammock because the last time we went to the causeway, I set up the hammock above the water and then I left it there. So yeah, shout out to anybody that got to use it. If you're in Tampa and you find a hammock on the causeway in some water and you've been using it, that was mine. That was mine. It's mine, but you can have it. But we're about to go to Bass Pro Shop because all the other hammocks were ass, but I didn't even know there was a Bass Pro Shop over here. But we're about to go to Bass Pro Shop. It's gonna be cool. I'm gonna show you guys because Bass Pro Shops are usually valid. So it's either gonna be a W or an L mission, but they had a lot of hammocks. So we're gonna go look for a hammock. We might have an inventory. We may not, or we know. We're gonna find out. Worst case, we get no hammock, but we got somewhere to go. We came to the realization that it was closed, so we're going to a store. But yeah, back on the road again. Shout out to the expensive ad car with the orange guts and the carbon fiber everywhere. And then we hop in Old Blooded. But yeah, we're about to go to Michael's and we're gonna get some stuff to do art. Out, Michael's is closed too. I don't know where we're going at this point. All right, we made it back to the crib. We didn't go to Bass Pro Shop. We ended up going to Walmart. From Walmart, we got a couple things. She's gonna decorate some lighter. And then I got this over here that's gonna be built tonight. Maybe tonight, hopefully tonight. Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, but I don't know if I'm gonna finish. I don't know how complicated it's gonna be. I got this car, Ferrari, Lego. So this is gonna be cool to have at the setup and everything. This is gonna be nice to do. But besides that, we just got food, we just got snacks, and yeah, now she's about to make some food, and now this is where the video's coming to an end, so I can edit it all and then get ready to eat the food and then get ready to build that Lego and then get ready to go to sleep and have another day. So with that being said, if you want to give access to everything that you've seen today, the one-on-one calls, the group call, all of the above. Make sure you apply in the first link in the description. Second link is the free trading training. And yeah, with that being said, let's have a great week. Let's see what money we can make this week when it comes to trading. Let's see what we can do.